Hello and welcome to this tutorial on PodFast. PodFast allows you to benefit from the audio enhancement and transcription features of Adobe Podcast and Vocal Remover without leaving Premiere Pro. Let's take a look at the plugin interface first, and then we'll see how to configure it. First, we can see the selection field for the WAV file that will be sent for export to Adobe Podcast or Vocal Remover. By default, it takes the name of the active sequence, but if you click the clip button next to it, it will take the name of the clip selected in the timeline. You can also give it a different name. Here you can choose to export to Adobe Podcast or Vocal Remover in stereo or mono. Below you'll find the Enhance button, which allows you to send the selected clips for audio enhancement to Adobe Podcast, and the Transcribe button, which allows you to use the Adobe Podcast transcription, which is of much higher quality than the native transcription. The Remover and Splitter buttons allow you to export to Vocal Remover to separate a vocal track from the music or separate the different instruments within a song. Let's see how audio enhancement works. Once the clip is selected, click the Enhance button. The export is instantaneous. The Adobe Podcast window opens, and the created WAV file is automatically loaded. The first time you use it, you'll need to enter your Adobe credentials. While the audio is being loaded into Adobe Podcast, you can close the PodFast window and continue editing. Adobe Podcast continues working in the background. You can then reopen the PodFast window by clicking the audio icon in the Mac OS menu bar. For Windows, the icon is located in the bottom right corner. Once Adobe Podcast has finished processing the audio, simply click on the file. The settings page will then open, allowing you to make your own adjustments. Once you're satisfied, click Download. The window closes automatically, and the enhanced audio file is automatically placed in the correct position in the timeline, while the original file is disabled. For the Remover and Splitter functions, the principle is the same. The selected audio is exported and uploaded. Once the settings are adjusted, the enhanced audio is placed in the timeline. To use Adobe Podcast transcription, select the desired audio file and click the Transcribe button. The Adobe Podcast window opens and the file is automatically uploaded. Once the transcription is complete, click the Export button. Choose the SRT file type and click the Download button. The Adobe Podcast window closes automatically. A JSON file is automatically created and imported as a transcript into the text panel in Premiere. The Adobe Podcast transcription is now active. Let's now see how to configure the plugin. Click the small hamburger menu to the right of PodFast and select Settings. First, you'll see the destination path, either relative or absolute. This is the folder where all generated audio files and transcripts will be created. Next, there's an option to create an Adobe Podcast folder at the root of the project in the Projects panel. This folder will have the same name as the one you selected in Finder or File Explorer. Below that, you'll find the folder where the Wave Export preset is stored. This is the default location. You don't need to change it unless you want to use your own preset. Following this, you'll find several settings related to audio enhancement. If this box is checked, Finder or File Explorer will automatically open to the correct folder once the enhanced audio file is downloaded. This option allows you to place the enhanced audio file directly onto the timeline according to the settings defined just below. Here you can define a label for enhanced audio files imported into the timeline. Next come the transcription options. By default, the Adobe Podcast transcript displays the name of each speaker on each subtitle. This option allows you to remove this information from both the subtitles and the transcript. The second option opens the subtitle and JSON file in Finder or Explorer once downloaded. For this plugin to function correctly, it is extremely important to configure the following keyboard shortcuts only for users of the work area bar. If you do not use it, leave this setting unchecked. To determine if you are using the work area bar, close the settings window and click the small hamburger menu icon and check if work area bar is checked. This is the case here, so go to Premiere Pro's keyboard shortcuts and search for Work Area Bar. Then note the associated shortcut. If there isn't one, create one. For Windows users, search for Timelines and scroll down until you find the word Timelines in the Windows folder. Note the associated keyboard shortcut, and if there isn't one, create one. Now go back to PodFast settings and enter these keyboard shortcuts one by one in the settings interface. You can save the settings. The plugin is now fully functional. Thank you and enjoy.